piles of Game of Thrones pictures that he's putting. This is Kara when the raid starts, like stuff like that. He's so quick about it.
Oh, Iggy?
Yeah, he's lightning. The kid's lightning on ice. I'm aware that we went live in the middle of a sentence. Don't care. Don't care. Chat should have been here when we weren't live, and they would have known. What's going on, chat? How you doing? Hope you're having a lovely day.
You know who's my favorite? Chat.
Chat.
And then
it makes sense. Yeah, chat's pretty cool. I like chat. What's going on, chat? The dashboard is informing me that I cannot add markers while the show is offline. So I guess it'll take a second for the dashboard to get caught up.
Yes, that is a thing. And my Frasley, you are my favorite Frasley in the world ever. Silverbolt is here.
Takes a while for Twitch to realize we're live. I love it.
Yeah, that's totally a thing because like we'll get a notification like bloop, converted as live like 10 minutes later or something. It's weird. Pop out chat. My favorite thing is popping out chat. So it's not on the side. It's inconvenient to be on the right side. I want it on the left side, the chat.
I'm just gonna put chat right. There we go. What's up, chat?
Oh shoot! I X'd it out.
Got you figured out.
Got you figured out. Where's T?
T dropped a message in the Discord about how she wasn't going to be able to make it tonight.
I did not see that.
So I assume we will be raiding the T parts.
Oh. The thing is, I did the notes totally. I totally did the notes after I just don't get the darn.
Yeah, I have to actively look for alerts from the channels that I follow in the CTR guild. It's rough. It's hard. It's a hard life.
Frasley wants to know if we want him to hop in. Why not?
I don't care. Want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, come on in, Frasley.
Okay.
Why not? We'll give him the show notes.
That's fun.
Why not? Screw it.
Add friends to DM. Oh, there we go. What? I'm not friends with Fraz? That don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense.
You friends with Fraz?
It's on Discord.
Discord, yeah.
Discord. I mean, we've had him on the show. Were we still using Skype back then?
Yeah, must have been. Okay, you do that. I'm gonna move T's face. We're gonna be here then, and
I'm not friends with Fraz either.
This
whole Discord friends thing, is it
guest,
like real friends thing?
Guest
obviously.
number 2 name.
Fraz.
What color name is Frasley?
I can't remember. He's a gnome.
Gnomes don't have a color. Only classes have colors.
I know. I forget. We'll have to ask him. He'll accept my friend invite soon, I'm sure. Warrior.
I knew.
The light brown.
I knew that. I should have known that. I should have known. Should have known that.
What is Frasley like going to do his hair now or something? What?
So, I go to host names, and we're gonna move
Hey.
out of there. Oh, and I need example names. I gotta pull the warrior color. The example warrior I have is Navox.
He's the best example of a warrior. Hey, Frog Sprout.
Hey, Sprout, good to see you, buddy.
Frasley is getting set up. So basically, Fraz is just gonna be Turarts. Let's see.
Is there a link to this Twitter or Twitch that I can
Yes.
spread around?
I'm putting in the chat room right now. I'll put it in our
If
chat
he needs a link
right
to
now.
the Twitch chat, he might need a link to the Twitch chat to find the link to the Twitch chat.
That's
if you're
funny.
putting it in the Twitch chat.
Oh no, I'm watching it on Twitch. I got that.
Frasley's getting his computer set up. Okay, Frasley, but what I need you to do is respond to my friend request.
I'm doing it too. I don't know why I haven't already done it. Mr. Sparkshine.
Oh.
Sparkshine himself.
Computer, turn off the lights.
Oh, don't do that to me. Why would you do that? I can't believe you've done this. Don't do the lube thing again, man. I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure that I probably have some naughty things in my Amazon suggestions now, thanks to you, you monster.
Industrial lube is not the same as, and besides that, you know, even if it was personal lubricant, that's not naughty. I mean,
Computer, turn on the lights. We're gonna go back to here for a minute.
Computer, buy condoms.
No, don't.
Is it doing anything? I don't hear it. Oh, what just happened?
I think Frasley just turned the channel.
Oh.
Yep. I don't like the way the names are wrong.
There we go.
Hey, Frasley.
Hey! I was running. I was as soon as you did this, I was like, yes! So I ran over.
Let's see. Let's see. Basically just every time it says Turarts, say Frasley.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not as pretty as Turarts, but I can do it.
That depends on who you ask, I think.
Oh, and I'm running WoW. That's why I'm lagging. There we go.
Um.
Turn off all programs that are not Discord. TSM asked me twice to turn it off. Yes.
Barf, did it try to buy anything?
No, it didn't hear you, thankfully.
It wouldn't have done it unless you've got your stuff hooked up to it.
You know, I don't know that I do, actually.
I don't. My sister had hers hooked up, but then the kids started buying stuff. They didn't buy anything crazy. At all. But my sister was like, put paper towels on the, buy paper towels, and then it was like, buy ice cream, and like, I think one of them purchased something, but it was like something totally normal, like toilet paper or something, but they were just like testing it out to see if it would work, and it totally did. So my sister put the kibosh on that. It's funny that they're testing it out, but they didn't get anything like that they would want. Just like they got like a household good that they could totally use anyway. Okay. So Frasley.
Yes.
Usually we have a guild happenings report. We're not going to have that.
Okay.
Because, so it's
time for press.
Why don't we just make one up? Oh, Frasley, you're going to make one up. Okay.
Yeah, lie to the listeners. They like that.
On what? Make up what? Like the good happenings?
Make it up.
Oh, I got one. How about Pat's moving report? I'll make up where Pat's been.
Great. Okay, so after we hang up on Blumoon, you're like, and while we're bringing Eshelon in, Eshelon's here, right? He's in the show notes, so he's here. It's time for Frasley. Okay. Blumoon.
Ah!
Yes.
Did you mean to do that?
No, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. Thank you. How about you?
Before we start, Blumoon, what we're gonna do is at the beginning we're gonna be like, hey, this is the thing that's in this episode we have, and then Barf's gonna be like, hi, and then that's like a short, like, hey, how you doing? That's like a short thing, like, hi, I'm fine, or something, and then we'll like go through the list, and then we'll go on like full on, invasive interview mode. Okay, and then we'll try to get all the deets, and it, it's going to be crazy.
Sounds good.
Afterwards, we're going to hang up on you, and then we'll bring Eshelon in for the raid report, and that's how that works. Initially, there's going to be some music. It's the music that Barf already played for us for a sec.
Spoil it.
Right.
And please, during that, don't talk or make any noise, because then I'll have to edit stuff, and that doesn't please me. Right, I'm going to stand up and get something very quick, and when we come back, we can start. If Barf is okay with that. Okay, BRB.
Sounds good.
And then I'm reading everything that says Turarts, right?
Yeah, you get to you're the Turarts understudy.
Okay, I can
I
do
think
that.
you're gonna nail it.
And then you said guild events. I make up something at the guild, or make up what Pat's been doing, or
Yeah, normally T has like a prepared list of things that the guild is up to while we do the transition from the guest to Eshelon. But I mean, being that she's not here, and because she's not here, we don't have that list. Give you your chance to shine.
okay. It's my audition tape.
This is the best thing. Like, Frasley, just be Turarts.
Okay.
Don't be Turarts, be Frasley.
Oh, moth!
What was Ash like? He was like, I thought it was like a bat, and Barf
Yeah,
is like a swarm of bees.
Before we go live, I've been kind of desperately searching for a roommate. I need one more person in the hotel room at BlizzCon to fill it completely.
Or else we just gotta pay more money, huh?
I didn't want to do that. So basically, I wanted to do this before we went live because the people in the chat room, you guys are the cool ones. But I do have a hotel room for BlizzCon from October 31st to November 5th. If anybody needs sleeping space for one, I can accommodate that. Hit me up.
Are you gonna put me in a bedroom with buttress?
I mean, yeah, that was the plan.
Buttress was talking about visiting me again.
That room's got a pretty cool group of people in it. Yeah, unfortunately, only one, Kaya.
If I was going, I would absolutely chime in, but virtual ticket this year, sadly.
Gotta get you out there.
You'd be the life of the party, I can tell. I can see it in your face. There it is. That's the face of the man that's the life of the party. I'm really good at this.
Do you drink alcohol?
Nope, because you want to know why? If you know me, I don't moderate anything, so that's the only one thing. I have nothing against alcohol. I just cannot control myself.
I can just imagine you on the caffeine.
Yes. Oh, that's coffee I've had today.
He's the one standing in line for the opening ceremonies at 4:30 in the morning, going, "All right, guys, let's sing a Warcraft song or something. We're standing in line for the next 4 hours."
Do you remember on the guild? I would be not Blades, and I want to meet Blades at some point. I would be.
He
Zabu?
He totally Blades came to our party last year.
Nice. I heard
Seriously.
about that. That's awesome. I'd be. Is it Zabu?
What about Zabu? Yeah.
He was the warlock from the guild.
Yeah.
Cool. We have a bunch of people. Oh, we've got a bunch of people here. Ready for the podcast.
It's time to cast. I'm ready to go. You ready to go?
It's time for Blue Moon.
Trogdor.
Trogzor. All right, guys, let's kick this pig. We are going to go live in 5, 4, 3.
You're listening to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the Guild Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, US.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 137 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast all about the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Today is September 24th, 2018. It's just about 6:21 p.m. Airy Peak local time. Thank you all very much for joining us. Sal, hit us.
In this episode, we have Blue Moon from CTRraids team Insomnia Saints, your converted shoutouts, Eshelon with the big raid report, and Frasley with the guild haps.
That's right, everybody. We got special guest Blue Moon and special guest Frasley on the show. I am Barfolomew the Paladin. With us tonight, for the very first time on the Converted, is Blue Moon. How you doing, man?
Oh, very good, very good. Excited to be here tonight.
Happy to hear it, man. We're happy to have you here, too. Let's next hear from Fraz. Fraz, why are you here?
Well, I was just in chat saying, hey, yeah, you can bring me on if Turarts isn't able to make it. And someone's like, sure. So I ran and rushed around because if you tell a podcaster to get on camera, you can't stop a moving train.
Oh man, that's awesome. Listen, chat room, make sure you get in your shout outs. We're still doing the shout outs thing at the end of the show. It's going to be rad. Sal, what's up with you these days?
Dude, man, I got my 340 gear. Dude, those war fronts, if you are in a lower eye level and you weren't running the war fronts, you were doing it wrong. I got all epics now because I was running war fronts. I had some blues, now I don't. You know, and now I went and bought a trinket. Oh my gosh, I went and bought a trinket, one of the Darkmoon trinkets, because I forgot that the Brewfest was going on, and we can get a trinket from the dungeon boss thing, the Dire Brew or whatever it is. So now I'm broke. I have no gold for gems and enchants for all this gear that I have. So I'm going straight to my friend Barfolomew for all of my gem and enchanting needs.
Stinks to be you because I'm poor right now, man.
Frasley, how about you in the Warcraft?
Yeah, I finally got into Warfronts. I have not done LFR yet, but the Warfronts, that is really cool. I love the RTS angle of it. It was kind of fun. I get to just go around cutting wood and going for ore and stuff like that. While everyone else is fighting around, I'm just like, okay, and I was like listening to some podcast while I was doing it. So
I'm gonna build a fort.
yeah,
Fun. So much. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun this week too. Barf, how about you? What's up this week? On your brand new Darkwing Duck t-shirt.
Silverbolt got me that. It came in the mail
awesome.
today. I'm super happy with it. It fits. It's got my man Darkwing on there. Oh, it's so good. I love this shirt. I'm happy with it.
So
I get to
good.
wear it. I too did the Warfronts. I have a strange thing to say. I've been playing my shaman almost exclusively. I haven't played my paladin like all week.
I've totally noticed. You've been running enhance on that
Oh my
shaman, right?
Listen, enhancement shaman is where it's at right now, and I did a couple of mythics as Resto. Resto's pretty good. That's okay. It's just feeling okay. I'm not good at it yet. I don't have the instincts for it. I'll get through a fight, we'll barely survive, and then I'll go, oh yeah, I probably could have done this thing that totally would have made it easy. Didn't think of that. Didn't think of that in the moment. Would have thought of that on the paladin, but like it's hard. Like the instincts are all wrong. Gotta change everything.
That's the thing with shamans is I've got like 5 or 6 big cooldown buttons to use.
Oh yeah, for sure. Probably gonna bring I'm probably gonna bring her into Uldir tomorrow. See where we are on that. My expectation.
What?
Yeah, the shaman and the paladin, very similar item level. So I'm not gonna lose out a whole lot on that. But
Are you gonna DPS or heal?
oh, heal. I mean, I don't think Kara's going to let me DPS. I will the instant Kara's like, I don't know, I feel like we have one too many healers. She'll get partway through that sentence, and I will already have my axes in my hands. I'll be ready.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of you not healing.
I'll smack a boss. Put him in front of me. I'll smack him.
Well, sure, but I prefer you to be like my pocket healer, focused on me.
The running joke is
'Cause
that
that's
I
what I
haven't ever
assume you
healed
do.
you, so why are you excited about this?
You know, you know, whatever it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm just gonna go contrary to whatever is said. That's just kind of who I am, right?
Yeah, basically. My expectation is that we're going to get maybe a boss or two in before I start feeling uncomfortable, and then I'll switch to the paladin, my happy space, my I know what I'm doing zone. But I don't know, man. It just because of like I'm excited about this character because of the enhancement spec. Resto is fine. But like I get into a island or something on the paladin and I go tank and I don't do any damage. And I do ret and I'm not excited about the spec. Then I switch over to my Pandaren and I smack things with axes and lightning for a minute and it just makes me feel good inside. So I don't know. Maybe I get to feel good inside once in a while. I get to hit things with axes. It'll be fun.
DPS is fun. You have my axe.
That's been my life in Warcraft recently.
You know, you should try some PvP. What Hazakostas was saying is that DPS Shaman are doing great in PvP right now. The thing is, there's a lot of stuns. there's a lot of like, you got your hex, you got your totems, you got your slows, you got there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do. A lot of utility there in PvP, not as much in raid, and we understand that that's going to be changing. Get some buffs or whatever, but as Beastafield in chat is saying, yeah, resto shamans are doing great right now. Get those AoE heals.
Yeah, Holy Paladins are doing pretty great too. That one fight with the Gronut, what's that fight called? The boss with the Gronut.
With the Gronut?
Yeah, there's the donut that grows and there's the donut that shrinks.
Oh, the donut that grows.
The third boss,
yes,
or
that.
fifth boss, or fourth boss.
Yeah,
that guy?
Zek Boss.
That's Holy Paladin land. Oh my goodness. Me and Aetheric just hang out at the top of the meters, just looking at each other like, I don't know what to do, man. It's just, we smack the thing, we heal everything, it's fine.
Fed Devourer would be pretty good too, because that's so much damage right on the tanks. You just focus on the tanks there.
It's bananas. I can't wait to. I'm gonna try Resto.
Well, just because Beastfield said that Shaman's got AoE heals doesn't mean that Paladins don't. Obviously, you're a good Paladin.
Oh my god, they totally do. Oh my god, it's so great. They totally do.
Obviously, you're a good Paladin. It'll be interesting to see you on a Shaman.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's gonna be fun. And not for nothing, pretty cute. My Shaman, she's a good looking chick. She's the Pandaren. She's got the lightning shoulders.
Nice, yeah.
She always glows like she's a witch. I got that toy that makes you cloudy. That's what I need right there. I'm a dark blue.
I'll poke you with my pin.
I'm a dark blue cloud walking around.
A witch.
It's great.
Very cool.
I keep trying to introduce our third shaman on the show, but our first shaman on the show keeps talking to me about shamanism. So very happy to talk about a brand new raid team to the Convert to Raid Guild. Blumoon, this is your first time on the Converted podcast. Is this your first time on any podcast at all?
It is. It's my podcasting debut here.
Welcome to the wide world of podcasting, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, as you've heard, my internet name is Blumoon, though the tune I raid with in Insomnia Saints is Nerf Herder. He's a shaman, resto shaman, though I dabble in any other spec that the raid needs. I also raid with two other teams, so I got to do a quick shout out with them too. I raid with my paladin Rafisk on 9 to midnight, and I raid with my resto druid on the Sunday morning raid team, the Raidy Brunch.
Wow, you're raiding all week long, man.
Yeah. Lots of raiding.
And on the Converted, we love to get to know our guildies. So tell us a little bit about yourself in real life.
Well, I am an over-the-road truck driver. So I also run as a team with my father. So especially late nights, I'll be driving the truck, and I can usually squeeze in the 2 to 3 hours for a raid. Every once in a while, I have to miss because of the job. But I can get online using a mobile hotspot. And through that, I can connect pretty much anywhere in the country that I can get a cellular signal. And yeah, that's pretty fun to be out in some parking lot somewhere in the middle of a city and just be raiding.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you don't rely on hotel Wi-Fi, because that can be awful for raiding and WoW.
Yeah, no Wi-Fi. Some of my company's terminals have some decent Wi-Fi, but it's mostly just that mobile hotspot. And if I'm stuck in a door getting loaded or unloaded, I can boot up the computer and go farm some herbs or go hop in a raid if there's one going on, and keep myself busy.
I think you are the first person I've ever met who's literally raiding on the road. I've
Absolutely.
never heard of this before. And you're getting a decent connection and all that?
Oh, yeah. Usually. I mean, sometimes it gets a little spotty, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. And even in my Sunday morning raid, since I'm usually driving from 8 o'clock at night to about 8 o'clock in the morning, the Raidy Brunch raids from 8 Eastern time. It's 5 a.m. server till noon Eastern. I usually finish driving, head back in the bunk, boot up the computer, and I'm actually raiding while my father's driving down the road. So we're actually moving while I'm raiding.
That's awesome, because I was trying recently to play while I was riding, not driving, but riding. But my inverter in the car was kicking up. But you probably have a nice inverter and stuff in the truck.
Yeah. When the truck's about $170,000, I think it's got a pretty good inverter in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling me the story. I'm like, wait a minute, no, stop. So your dad is driving, and you're in the back, like laying down or whatever. You're in the bunk, and while you're going down the highway, you've got the bandwidth enough to raid in World of Warcraft.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really incredible how well the Blizzard team has managed to like streamline this game because of how little bandwidth it actually requires. Is using I have the Verizon Unlimited plan, which anyone who knows isn't really an unlimited plan. They do throttle you after like 20 gigs. But even once it's throttled, it's still enough to run World of Warcraft. And even if I have a really good connection, I can sometimes stream Netflix in the background as well.
Wow. And at least your raid team probably knows you're on the road. So they're like, okay, if you wipe because of data, then it's not, they're like,
Yeah. And any team I join, this first thing I mention, I'm like, I'm a driver. Sometimes I'm just not going to be able to get online. If you want me, you're going to have to deal with it. So.
You said you were an over-the-road truck driver. What other kind of truck driver is there?
OTR just means that I run like all 48 states. There's also like a regional truck driver or a local truck driver that only, those are the ones that are like home every night or they're home every weekend. I'm usually out on the road for 8 to 12 weeks at a time.
My grandpa did that. He was a Teamster back in the Jimmy Hoffa days.
Yep. It's there's a lot of us out there. There's a whole lot, and pretty much anything you'll ever buy is, brought to you by a truck driver. So all your groceries, all your stuff, building a house, all those materials have to get there somehow, and it's usually by truck.
Well, I hope they're not putting them in the same trucks that my dad drives, because he drives hazmat. So probably not the grocery. Probably not the same grocery vehicle is what I'm thinking.
They separate some stuff. I drive a refrigerated, so I'm mostly food items. A lot of cheese, a lot of chocolate, some every once in a while some juice.
all good raiding snacks.
Yeah.
Not from what I hear. I hear a little birdie named Sal, told me through the grapevine that you've had quite the personal achievement recently. You feel like sharing anything about that?
Yeah, I have. I make no secret that I'm a bit of a bigger boy. So just 2 weeks ago, I had a gastric sleeve procedure done, which is the stomach stapling, and it's been going well. I'm still getting used to having to eat like 4 ounces of food at a time. So just this week, I'm able to start eating solid foods that are a little on the softer side, so like fish and pureed stuff. So we went out to eat the other day, and I got some shrimp, and I ate like 4 shrimp, and that was my meal. So I'm looking forward to
Sounds good to me.
seeing that kind of transformation over the next few months. I should be losing a whole lot of weight, which will come in really handy when I'm going to BlizzCon in November.
What's up? We're gonna see you
there
at BlizzCon.
Nice.
Yeah, going to BlizzCon.
Are you gonna drive to BlizzCon?
I think my company does have a drop yard in Fontana, which is like an hour from Anaheim. But since there's not a whole lot of reefer loads out there for my company, we're probably going to park in like Phoenix, and then rent a car and drive out to Anaheim that way, which will let me swing by and visit another guildie on the way that's not going to BlizzCon, but he lives between there, and I'll be bring in a good friend of mine, Snarkon, will be bunking with us in the hotel, and another good friend of mine, Zuck, will be meeting us out there with him and his wife and newborn, and it'll be good fun. Lots of new memories to make at and I think it's all of our first BlizzCon, so I know that's always special.
That's awesome.
You are going
And
to have a ton of fun, man. Wrangling up a bunch of people who have never been there before and going, all right, let's all just go. You are going to have so much fun.
Yeah. And I know there's a bunch of guys from my late night raid, the 9 to midnight crew.
9 to midnight. Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6 of us that are all that like live in the area, or we're all going. So we're gonna get a big get together there to meet everyone in person, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And from people that I know who have gone to BlizzCon, it'll make the community that much more alive.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fortunate in my career that I'm able to spend, if I have some time off in a particular area of the country, I'm always looking out for guildies that I can go and have dinner with, or go meet in person. So I've gotten to meet quite a few in the last few years that I've been driving around.
Oh, really? Name some towns you've been able to meet guildies in.
Oh, I met 2 of my 9 to midnight friends up in Washington State. They were out in Seattle, and one of them was kind enough. He came out and had dinner with me one night, and I actually had 2 nights off there because in my company, anytime we go out west to California or Washington, it's always some big ordeal, and they give us way more time than we actually need. So I had like 2 full days out in the outskirts of Washington. So the one night he came and we had dinner together, and then the next day he came back, picked me up, and brought me into town. And we went to see a movie where we got to meet another one of my guildies there. I've also met another guildie out in Pennsylvania, just south of Harrisburg, and I got to have breakfast with her, and that was very nice. And I just missed one of my guildies down in Texas. He had recently moved to Dallas, but I had messaged him on Discord, but he didn't have the Discord notification, so he didn't actually see it until a couple days later, and I was already back in Wisconsin by the time. But I know eventually I'll get down and see you, because every couple of months I get down to Dallas, and I usually have a free day.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
That's not where I am now.
Right. You're up in the Northeast, right?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
People from Brooklyn don't say New York. I'm not in NYC. I'm in Brooklyn.
Right. I try to stay as far away from New York as I possibly can.
The city, I'm sure. Yeah.
I've been in there, and I know enough that I don't want to ever be there again. And now that we're kind of owner operators, we have the power to say no. We don't go there. It's more trouble than it's worth in a truck.
It takes about 45 minutes to go 2 miles if you're in a car. There's a lot of places where it's just faster to walk.
Yeah, nobody drives in that state. There's too much traffic.
Not the state, the city. I mean, the state is quite big.
Yeah,
you
can't really.
The city's
avoid
not the entire state?
There's the city. Stop it, Casey. You're being contrary. Yes, Zato in the chat room. He's like, Summer's from Dallas? Yes, as a matter of fact. That's where I grew up. I grew up in a place called Waxahachie, Texas.
That sounds like a Texan place.
Yes.
Waxahachie means Buffalo Creek.
Yeah, that sounds like it's from Texas. Yeah, I believe that. I believe. So what's up with Insomnia Saints? Tell us about the team. How long have you been together, for starters?
All right. Well, Insomnia Saints actually originated all the way back in Burning Crusade. We had myself, my friend Zuck, and a few others started a raid group kind of midway through. Then we, of course, back then everything was all attunements, so we had to start in Karazhan and work our way all the way through the raids in BC. And by the time we finished up in Black Temple, we had my real life friend of mine, Crushmo, who is the current leader of Insomnia Saints now, joined up, and we pretty much raided all the way through Firelands. Right around there, another game came out that we all kind of switched to, and it all kind of petered out. And now, beginning of Legion, he's been listening to me rant and rave over how good Legion has been, and now at the beginning of BFA, finally got my friend Crushmo and my brother Duality back into World of Warcraft, and he decided to get the band back together again. So we started up Insomnia Saints and managed to find a few really great raiders through the raid recruitment event last weekend, and just kind of managed to pull together a really solid core of people, and getting through. I mean, just in the second week, we had normal Gahoon down, and now, 3 weeks in, we're 3 bosses down in Heroic already, and pushing into the Heroic Zek boss, and really looking to get AOTC down. And it's been just a blast to finally get a lot of my real life friends together, and some of these long-term raiders that I've known for years and years to be back together again raiding.
And what would you say the culture of your team is like?
We're pretty chill. You know, we poke some fun at each other quite a bit. You know, we're not afraid to to heckle a little bit, but it's all good natured stuff. We definitely get stuff done. We're definitely about strong performance and getting bosses down.
And are you currently recruiting?
We are. We've got a pretty solid tanks and about 4 or 5 awesome healers. But any DPS looking to progress into heroic are absolutely welcome to apply. And yeah, we're absolutely looking to recruit some more people. We got about 15 right now. We'd love to get more, like 20, 25-ish. So another 10 or so DPS would be absolutely welcome. And our raid times, by the way, is we raid Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 o'clock to midnight Eastern time, which is, I want to say, 5 to 9 server.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying that you've been playing since Burning Crusade. So when did you join CTR?
I discovered the Convert to Raid podcast late in Warlords of Draenor. And at that point, I wasn't really raiding regularly, and the thought of having like a massive guild of raiders that are always looking to do stuff just absolutely spoke to me. And I think that next day I transferred my Horde tune over to Alliance and made an account on the website and got the application in, and it's just been wonderful ever since. I absolutely love the community here. The people always, any time of day, because I'm online, I'm up all night long, well into the morning, so there's always someone to do something with. And being just the ridiculous amount of time that I actually play this game, I've got so many darn alts that I've always got something willing to do something, and just about anything. And
do you have any favorite systems that, because on a lot of alts, you've got them to try different things in the game?
Yeah, well, I definitely trying out everything. You do know in the Legion expansion, you've all heard of the Mage Tower, right?
Yes.
I managed to get the Mage Tower appearance on all 36 different
Nice.
specs.
You are kidding me.
You're one of those madmen?
Yeah, one of those. I managed to didn't start out with that in mind, but after a while, I just kind of got about halfway through it, and I was like tallying up all the ones I had, and I was like, hi, looks like I only need 12 more. Might as well go for it. So I boosted up my one tune that I hadn't had a rogue, so I boosted a rogue and just kind of finished them all out by a few weeks before it was canceled. And since I'm always running pugs or jumping into raids with my alts, they were all pretty much normal Antorus geared, and I was able to once you learn the fight on one of your tunes, you can jump on another one, do the same fight, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
But that was a
sure,
lot of fun.
easily, no problem.
Yeah, they're simple. They're once you learn them on one tune, they're pretty much the same on the other.
I mean, he's kind of joking a little bit about it, but I mean, I know that the Guardian and Protection Paladin ones were very similar. I know that some of the healer ones were very similar. Did you find one that was like noticeably harder? Like, was there one that you really struggled on?
There were. I know what was the one rogue spec? Because I'm not a very rogue is not a common class that I play a lot. It's usually my last alt. I think it was the rogue spec that was in the eye with the Malagos room. That one was very difficult because there's no AoE slow for that spec of rogue, so I had to single target each of them and slow each in one individually, and that was challenging. Also, my prop paladin was especially challenging, getting that flail. I know I have several hundred attempts on that one, and I've actually got it on YouTube because of I was recording myself so I could go back and figure out what I was doing wrong and how to fix it.
Wow, that's a lot of pulls.
But,
were you doing this like at night hold time, or was it like after Antorus? Like, where were you on the gear scale on that?
Well, the paladin, I got my retribution one the first week the mage tower was out because that was my main at the time. And the prop paladin we were raiding heroic Tomb of Sargeras when I got the prop pally. And that was about the same time I got the guardian druid shortly after, and they were both quite challenging. But there were other ones like the disciplined priest one was a lot easier than I had expected it to be, because with some of them is just the DPS requirements were a lot less than on others, I guess. It's like and some of them you could kind of cheese, like the Imp Mother one, you could get some of the buffs that were out in the world, and you could cheese the Imp Mother using the special potion you got from Argus, the infused light potion that lets you do more holy damage, and you could bring in those allies you would get from the command center building. They would pop up if that was active while the Imp Mother was on.
What? I had no idea you could do that.
Yeah, so you could spawn like the little damage circle that buffed you, or you could spawn a bunch of little blue dragonlings that all helped you attack. And so for like a lot of those AoE classes, you could do them very low geared because you could get some of those buffs to kind of cheese it.
Breaking Sal's brain over here.
I spent more time on the Imp Mother than I probably should have.
And some of them you really needed a specific legendary for, like the Affliction Warlock or I think the Shadow Priest. You might have needed a very specific legendary in order to even make it like possible, because you needed to be able to slow the twins. You need to be able to slow one to do that encounter, and that was very, very challenging without it. And then once I got the corruption ring on my warlock, I was just pretty simple.
I kind of felt that way with the Sephusa's ring on my protection paladin, because it gives you a speed boost when you interrupt, and throwing the shield counts as an interrupt. So I was running around all over the place on that little floaty asteroid thingy-do that you had to kill the demon on. I was the fastest man alive. You couldn't hit me with them little beams if you tried.
Yeah, if you had Sephuz and the Talix, the pants on that, you had definitely the DPS to kill down all those little imps fast enough so they didn't get the debuff on you and give you so much magic vulnerability that you would just die.
So we're an alliance show. I don't think I need to disguise how we're here to rep, the blue team. Have you done anything over there on where on Jungle Desert Island or whatever they call it out there in Troll Kingdom? Have you
I'm in the process of leveling my old main warrior through Zuldazar and all that stuff, but I'm taking my time with that. I'm just leveling it through slowly, reading all the quests, to make sure I do all the side quests and a little bit. But I've definitely enjoyed leveling through Turarts. I've got 3 mains, so I've got one for each of my raiding teams all ready to go. And now I can kind of sit back and take my time leveling the alts while I have downtime between the raids. That and farming all these darn herbs because anchorweed is so rare.
What the heck, the anchorweed? Oh my god.
I got a hot tip from a multi-boxer. Have 5 herbalists. That's the way. That's how you do it.
That
apparently.
would make it a lot easier. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, have 5 herbalists and play them at the same time.
I mean, I don't know how she.
Different account, which means 5 subscriptions, which is a little expensive for me.
Like, how much you want to pay for anchorweed?
You gotta pay for it somehow.
Yeah, it might be cheaper to just buy a token and purchase it off the auction house.
Yeah. I don't know how she does it, man. She's got all kinds of stuff going on there. But she's pulling in the anchorweed. I'll tell you what.
Hey, more power to him.
Blue, I can't thank you enough for being on the show with us tonight. I had a great time talking with you. How do we find you on the internet?
Well, like my tunes on online are Rafisk Shizzleslits is my druid or nerf herder. I'm on Twitter at Blumoon816. That's without an E. It's just Blumoon, no E in there. And yeah, always on pretty much online whenever I'm not driving.
And on the Converted, we like to test your intellect buff. So name everyone who has so far joined your crew.
All right. Well, you got to do the leader. My real life friend is Crush Magi, the mage. We've got my brother is the tank on his Demon Hunter duality, and my other real life friend, Imp Daddy Zuck, is the warlock extraordinaire. Our co-tank would be Yatma, the druid. We've got quite a few really good healers. We got Chipmunk, the Mistweaver monk, Stunaloot, and Eddie Belly, the priest. He kind of switches between shadow or holy as needed. Also, Aeon Techie, the Resto Druid. Oh, who else? We've got a couple of really fun DPSers. We've got Roma, the mage. I think he's trying to switch to his holy paladin, but he's there. Not Vion, the druid. Nesserin, a shaman. We've got this crazy warrior, 3 wolves. We're pretty sure he's just 3 wolves in a trench coat. Modan, the hunter. Who else? There's quite a few. Couple of demon hunters. We got Valatar, the demon hunter. Who's the other demon hunter? Oh my goodness, I forget his name. But I'm sure I'm missing some more people. But those are the ones that are sticking with me. But like I said, we've been about 3 weeks now, and really looking forward to progressing in heroic, and looking to add some more names to that roster.
Now, before Barf hangs up on you, do you have any shout-outs?
Just shout out to my real life raiding buddies, Crush Magi, Duality, Zuck. You guys are awesome. Looking forward to raiding with you some more. And my buddy Snarkon, we're gonna go see go to BlizzCon together, so that'll be really cool. Can't wait. He's always been thinking about starting up a podcast, so it'd be great to maybe get him on here one of these days.
Yeah, it's easy to start up a podcast. There's no excuse not to these days. Even Frasley does it.
Yeah, and I encourage anybody to do it because it's fun. It gets you out of your comfort zone. You get to meet so many people. And our very own guild leader, Pat Crane, has an amazing guide at Podcast Launchpad.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we are so happy that you came by tonight, Blue. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about Insomnia Saints and all of the other teams and all the other stuff that you got going on. We're going to hang up on you now. So we'd like you to say goodbye, and we're going to bring on Ash for the raid report.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Take it easy, man. I always forget how to do this. There it is. It's the one written in red, for God's sakes.
Well, that was fun.
Yes.
Yes. You know what? Usually it's time for tea, but right now I think it's time for Frasley. Frasley, make something up.
So I've been investigating where Pat's been because Pat's been missing for a while, and we're trying to figure out where they went.
Are we talking about our guild leader, the Mr. Pat Crane himself, Zug?
Yeah, yep, my dad and all that. And so Pat has been traveling from Minnesota to California. So Pat stopped by the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota and was inspecting it, accidentally started unraveling it, and while it was unraveling, the police showed up. So then he was in jail for a couple of days, and it was a huge mix-up, and they almost started taking away the guild. So the guild was going to become the property of the Minnesota Police Department. It was an amazing thing, and then the officers were in guild chat. I was hearing all week trying to figure it out, and like they're talking with the FBI, and then at some point the NSA was taking out all over the guild chat emails, even going to the officers' emails and trying to figure out why is this person trying to take down this twine? Is twine a thing that they're trying to use for terrorism? So it was a whole mess. But Sal, if I understand right, or Barf, whoever's part of the officers chat, I assume everything's all good, and the guild leadership is now, thankfully, I got so worked over. I don't want to lose CTR, but do I understand that great? I'm sorry. Does Pat have control of CTR again from the police?
I'm told yes, that Pat does have control of the guild, not just one, but all of the sub guilds as well, and that
about half of
he's
AIE
fine.
somehow, weirdly.
Yeah, but that was always going to happen. So everything's fine, and he escaped with plenty of twine left over.
Okay, good. So Weird Al will have his next song.
Actually, I heard that CTR was now the property of the Tortolan Conclave. That's what I heard.
Another guild made it to the water.
Another raid team made it to the water.
The circle of life can be so cruel.
That's what happens to all those raid teams. Those darn seagulls just come out and pluck them before they have a chance to flourish.
And others get crabs.
I found out what happens if you leave the turtles alone for a while. I just assumed that like enough would get out eventually that the quest would complete itself. But as it turns out, it's those little crabs actually that they form a. You remember Plants vs Zombies? They form a wallow crabbo just at the water's edge, and they'll walk away with all the turtles. It's the crabs that'll stop you.
That is
What's up,
interesting.
Ash?
Hey, I mean, I'm just here. I'm here. I wanted to report the Tortolan Conclave bit of news I heard. There's some raid teams doing some progression things. If you wanna do that.
That does sound interesting.
All right. Well, let's just have us a look here. Looks like we have about 232 per crew. No, that's not right. Counting it wrong. 78. That's a more reasonable number. 78 progression kills in normal and 30 progression kills for the guild as a whole in heroic. So yeah, heroic was not breached the first week, but since then, plenty of progress. We'll start at the top. Room with a moose. Took out Mother and Fetid Devourer, which makes them 3 of 8. Rubber Chickens are 4 of 8, taking out Zekvaz. I assume working on Vectus now. Gluttons for Punishment. The Troublemakers, Banana Republic, and the Raided Brunch all took out Vectus, which makes them 5 of 8. Salad Senate, Hell to Pay, TLDR Just Pull, and the Fallen Knights are all 6 of 8, having taken out the reincarnated Zol. Resolve, Raid 6, Hump Day Heroes, and I don't know if maybe they're changing their name, but Hump Day Heroes Mump Day. They all got Mithrax down. Looks like the from the Ashes and Epic Eggplant also got Zul down. But those guys also did a little heroic dabbling, so congratulations on a talent kill for those guys. Gruel's Gone Wild also took out Anthrax. I'm sorry, Mithrax. Whatever, you know. Bacon and Kegs, Standard Dragon Protocol, Hydra Volunteer Fire Department, 9 to Midnight, Insomnia Saints, as from what I heard on the podcast earlier, Casually Elite, Project Fail Sauce, Dark One's Own Luck, and Facepull all took out Gahoon on normal. And then a bunch of those folks, in fact, all of those folks took out Talic on heroic. Threat level Midnight got their mother kill on heroic. Insomnia Saints, Casually Elite took out Fetid Devourer on heroic. Project Fails Sauce took out Zekvaz along with Keep Going It's Fine, Dark One's Own Luck, and Facepull, all 4 of 8 on heroic. And at the top of the pile right now, we got Rectified, 6 of 8 heroic. They've taken out Vectus and Zul. Good job to Rectified.
Dang!
Dead game. Nobody's playing.
Game's dead.
They killed
WoW
it.
is dead.
That's right.
Good thing there's 2 new raids coming, so we're good.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna add something. I mean, Rectified's already finished, so no. I mean, there's plenty to go. There's plenty. There's mythic progression, you know, lots to keep us going. So I would expect to see, you know, another nice pile of progression kills in 2 weeks. So.
And anyone that's already cleared all the raids, I heard the Krusty Krab is hiring.
Perfect.
That sounds great. Wow, Ash, that is so many kills, man. This must be like you're just time of year, you know, you're just gathering them in. All the raid kills.
Yeah, I'm just gathering them in. It takes me hours of you know you know, labor intensive spreadsheet management and copy and paste to make it all work. It really takes like 30 seconds, but yeah.
Well, as long as everyone is like on the website and is signed up for it, that's great. Now, I want to know your thoughts though. You've been raiding. How do you like this tier so far?
I'm having fun. Most of my raiders seem to like it. I know there's a handful of folks that are not really enjoying the Mithrax fight. The we called it Anthrax because we have 30 raiders, so it's kind of crowded. And that fight with 30 raiders, because I don't know if you've been in that room yet. It's a smallish room. You got to kind of be near the boss, and you're creating these these void zones, these bubbles that spawn on players that if you're in the bubble, you're charmed by the boss, and if you get knocked out of the bubble, you do a bunch of raid damage. Larger raid sizes makes that fight a lot more difficult because the probability of having extra people in the bubble is really high. So that fight's a little weird, but I like the mechanics. The last boss has an interesting mechanic that you have to basically involve the entire raid in helping do something different. So you know how usually you got 2, 3, or 4 people who may be pretty skilled at like doing oddball, mechanics or whatever. Well, you're going to need most of the team working on some oddball mechanics in the last fight. So that's always interesting because you ask for volunteers and like 3 people will volunteer, but you got to, okay, thanks for the volunteers, but now we got to pick people, and you got to do it, 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 and they don't volunteer because they struggle a little bit, the first couple of times, but everybody gets it eventually. So just do a few pulls and get used to it, and everybody gets better, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but if you volunteer, that means you won't be top DPS.
This is a big problem.
It's really not about that.
But it is. You act like you're not DPS. It is about that.
I am, but it's so not about that. Like the mother fight. Like they introduced this to you in the mother fight, like right off the bat. Second fight, if you go through the barrier, you're not doing a DPS. There's a couple of ads coming every now and then, but you don't even get to attack the boss. And
That's
so
true.
it just totally like it wipes out the meter. Like you want to look at the meters and try to figure out who's doing great. Well, it's all the people who stayed in room 1.
That's totally
It's like
true.
it's like they're just so it doesn't matter. Throw it out the window. You want to know what people can do on the meters. It's a lot harder to figure it out.
It's too bad that
Well-
SCADA and details don't measure raid utility. Like, there's not a bar for that.
Right?
Hmm.
You don't score any points for dunking the football at the I don't know, in left field on the last boss, but
Yeah,
you
from
gotta
half
do
court.
it
I know what you're
in
talking
order
about.
to kill from half court, exactly. But you got to do
During
it
a
if you wanna
power
kill the
play,
last
even.
boss. Yeah, and that person that did that, their DPS sucks.
Dunking a football from half court during a power play.
Mm-hmm.
That's
From
how it
outfield
is.
made the joke work better. I stepped on it a
Ah.
little bit.
From left field. It's a really fun raid. I'm looking forward to what they got next, but this one's been a lot of fun so far. We're just kind of making our way through it.
Wonderful. So I guess if we are done with that, what do you say for Usley?
So now it's time for chat room shoutouts. So chat room, throw it at me. Hit me with the best shot. I'll read them just as soon as Eshelon is done with the Twitter shoutouts.
We have one Twitter shout out today. I love this guy's name. Who aggroed that?
I love that name.
Wants to give a shout out to Frasley, this guy right here, for all his help with his new podcast, and to Rosewind for the same. So
What
Who
podcast are we
aggroed that?
talking about? Oh, is it
my
who
my
aggroed
shout
that?
out goes to Who aggroed that for having the coolest Twitter handle.
Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
and it's a great podcast. There are 3 episodes out so far, and I've talked to them. In fact, I'm going to be talking with them on Thursday. So, great podcast. The person just they did what every person wants to do and start a podcast, and they did it.
Oh, wonderful. I'll check that out. Great.
Sure.
Cool. What about our-
that is the Twitter shout outs.
And then for chat room, we have Winchester CTR said, my shout out this week goes to a new member to the guild who has been a great friend to me over the last few weeks, Kel. And then Kyafin CTR says, I second the shout out to Kel. She's an awesome person, friendly, generous, and very fun to hang out with. And then Kyafin CTR also says, shout out to the person who's helping me get a new computer so I can continue hanging out with all of you wonderful people and keep doing my job in game. And Kyafin, great job as a greeter. I always see you on there with coffee and stuff like that. Just awesome job. And they said, bless you and your generosity. And Frog Sprout says, shout out to the chickens, gluttons, and eggplants for making raiding tons of fun for me this week. And these might be the last week, but hey, it's always good to have shout outs. And Frog Sprout says, shout out to Barf and the Glutton Council for being good friends to me in this last week. Eggplants for getting Mithrax down 2 hours ago, and anyone that has watched my Twitch ever.
Nice.
Yo, hang out at Frog Sprout's Twitch. That guy, that kid puts on a good show.
Absolutely.
Friendly dude. Good man.
And they're always streaming. I'm always impressed. It's like, man, they're raiding, they're greeting, and they're streaming.
Hopefully not all at the same time. That's yeah, nobody's got that kind of brain power.
Yeah. Unless they're not a human, unless they're a cyborg. I mean, AI has been getting kind of creepy recently. I'm hearing about some interesting things.
No, I don't think so. I saw Sprout at BlizzCon last year. I feel like I can tell the difference between a human and a robot if I'm standing in front of them.
Okay, yes.
I think I can figure it out.
Don't be so sure. I mean, robots are getting pretty sophisticated these days. Almost as sophisticated as Sprout.
And
I still feel like I can tell.
Vendelo says, shout out to Kai for sticking it out through computer troubles to be a reliable tank.
Feels like a pretty good
Amazing.
set of
Okay.
shout-outs tonight.
I think so too. The chat room is kind of going crazy right now. That's why we're a little bit going back and forth. But you know what? I think we're done. I call it. I think we're done.
Great. What do you guys have for shout-outs before we get out of here? Sal, you start.
I want to shout out to Frog Sprout for helping me through Siege of Borealis, which is amazing. And now I'm totally done with the story, and I've beat the game because of it.
Dead game.
I'm done with. I've beat WoW. How about you, Barf?
I would like to give my shout-out to everybody from Dark Moon Herald except for Sal. Because
Not me.
Not Sal. Because everyone else who was on the show this week had correct and accurate things to say about that creepy face that she's sitting in front of. The audio listeners are going to miss out, but there is the world's creepiest Coney Island face just hanging out behind Sal, and she thinks it's not a creepy face. So I appreciate all of the emotional support. I appreciate all the emotional support I got from the rest of the cast of that show. I would also like to give a shout out to T for being a awesome co-host, and we're sorry that you couldn't be here this week, but hope to see you soon, and things are cool, and we love you and we miss you. What do you got, Ash?
Boy, what should I shout out to? I'll shout out to Arcane Intellect for giving me something to do and making me relevant a little bit in the raid. Yep.
You're a
Arcane
mage.
Intellect.
You bring the food. You've always been useful.
Yeah, I mean, they usually have those feasts, and that makes me feel like a little smaller. And then the cauldron comes out, and then, but this time, this raid tier, I have Arcane Intellect, and they're like, asking for that all the time. Actually, they don't ask for it. I have a week where I just push a button and it happens, but it makes me feel good.
How about you, Fraz? What do you got, buddy?
I just want to do a shout out to CTR. I mean, the fact that we have such
I'm sorry. I've just been told. I forgot something. There's a meetup in Atlanta for Facepull and friends. Where is it at?
It's in the entire city of Atlanta.
Battle and Brew. There's a Battle and Brew in Atlanta. It's actually up Springfield. No, Sandy Springs. That's it. Sandy Springs, Battle and Brew. So anybody in that area who wants to just come hang out with WoW folks, it's totally happening at Battle and Brew. There's like 9 or 10 of us going to be there. Yeah.
When's it going to be, and where can we find info about it?
Saturday, do you have the spreadsheet thing or the pamphlet thing? She made like a thing last time, but this time I don't think she made anything. It got changed too much, but it's on Saturday, and we're probably going to be at the Battle and Brew around 4 or 5 o'clock. Is that right? Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock. You can PM me in Discord or Lonnie and get like more accurate information the day of. There's a few folks that are going to be in town around noonish, so we'll be doing a couple things before Battle and Brew. But around 4 or 5 o'clock, it's going to be Battle and Brew.
Okay, and that's this coming Saturday, the 29th, 4 or 5 o'clock ish.
That's correct.
Cool beans.
All I remember about Atlanta, all I remember is there's a giant picture of Dave Ramsey's face as you're heading down the highway. That's all I remember.
They have a very famous airport.
Yes, and I've been there a few times.
It's a very large airport. I think it's the largest airport in the world. But it's easy to get around because they have a little train that goes around.
Woo woo, chugga chugga chugga, woo woo.
What do you got in your shout outs today, Fraz?
I just I have to give a shout out to the guild. I know it's everybody in the guild, but just everybody has a different role. People are greeting officers, and even just members, and different people. And I have not seen toxicity in this guild. The fact that we have a podcast to talk about the guild, celebrate the guild, that they're raid teams. I have not seen a community like this, and it always makes my heart just like I get gnome bumps, and it's so yeah. CTR is amazing, and thank you again for letting me fill in T's seat tonight. It has been a blast.
Are gnome bumps larger or smaller than regular goosebumps?
Well, I think they get overlooked, so they might be smaller.
Okay, sounds good to me.
That's gonna. Joke.
What's up?
That was a gnome joke. So if it went over your head, then you must be a gnome.
That's going to wrap us up for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank Navox and Geek Chic Lisa for the theme music. You can find us on Twitter at converted_CTR. Turarts is at Turarts. Sal is at summer_Sal. Esh is at Eshelon. I am at a bonus level. Sal, Frasley, where are you at?
I'm at Frasley-tastic.
At Frasley-tastic. Sal, when's the next episode?
The next show is October 8th. We will be repping Project Fail Sauce. Now, we have room in the show in November. So get your raid leaders to reach out to us. Go to convertedpodcast.com to get your team on the show.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. For Frasley.
Bye.
For Eshelon.
See you next time.
For Sal.
Peace.
And for myself. We'll see you next time, everybody.
You can follow the show on Twitter at converted_CTR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast. And find us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast. And join us live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really.
Yay! Why can't I moderate my own bad post?
What did you post?
I thought I was posting a link.
I don't see anything. From you, I see who's going to carry through Mythic Plus tonight, and then later, totally not creepy, and then later, he's the mascot for Coney Island, and then later, can I get a mod to delete that?
Oh. Okay, so...
I think whatever it is that you want to show didn't show.
There was an enormous link that's like 1 million characters long.
Yeah,
I'm
you've been doing that
betting-
recently. What's up?
I'm betting that it doesn't look deleted to you because if you know you've been moderated, you're more likely to like troll and be Like, think about it. If you weren't moderating your own post, if you were moderating somebody else's post, I bet it doesn't disappear off their screen. It just disappears off everybody else's screen.
Well, it's still on my screen. I don't think anyone actually, because no one's mentioning it, I don't think it actually showed up
Yeah,
in other people's
okay.
chat. But it is.
Do we have
isn't
links
like,
blocked on this channel? That's a channel per channel
We-
basis.
Okay, we do, but not from me, and not from any of our mods. But I mean, it's not like just a long, like not just a long link, but like a 5 pages long link type link. Like, not like what I posted in your chat the other day. About 27 times bigger than that. So maybe it just doesn't show up because of how big it is.
That seems bad. Shouldn't do that to people. Shouldn't do that to
Well, I
your
didn't
friends.
know. How am I supposed?
Have you
I
been
was
drinking a Blue Moon
linking-
this entire time?
No, I've been drinking Narragansett Light.
Okay. Because of the theming.
Yeah, I thought so. But no, I was trying to give people, steeplechase Jack pictures, like totally not creepy.
Yeah. You posted a bunch of them. You posted a bunch of them on Sunday, and you were like, no, here's examples of why it's not creepy. It was still creepy.
Like, it wasn't meant to be creepy when it was made.
So many things were that way.
It's just a smiling man.
There's creepypasta about the smiling man. Oh.
That's
just
not
walk-
blood. That's not blood right there. That's a shading. Creepy Coney Island guy. Hashtag.
Oh, wow, I just see the blood now.
Yeah, no, it's shading until you think it's blood. Then it's blood.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of
I
blood
f-
in Oh Dear, I heard.
Chat is making me feel supported.
I can't unsee the creepy.
I'm not taking other sides. I love both of you, so I don't want to make anybody upset with me.
Comes from an admissions ticket from the park in 1905. That's where the
Yeah.
face comes from.
And not creepy whatsoever.
He'll use funny face logo became the iconic symbol of Coney Island. It does not say the creepy iconic symbol.
It could.
Wikipedia does not say that.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
mean,
sorry, but
Wikipedia could be
Wikipedia is
edited by any
law.
wild person who doesn't think it's creepy.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of Steepleface Jack.
Where?
I've decided.
Could you make it be on the bottom of your foot so
On
that
my
like
neck.
the people don't have to see it?
Right next to the beholder eye on your neck.
What? Beholder eye? No.
That also wouldn't be creepy.
But cool. Hey, how about our guest tonight, though?
That was cool.
Blue Moon,
Over the road, guy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. I mean, I knew you could like hook up cellular or whatever, but I didn't know you could raid like that. Like, I gotta imagine your ping
Yeah,
wouldn't be
like-
good, but I guess your ping's okay. You know, like I know I went hotspot on my phone a few times, and my ping's not too bad. It's like 150 or something. So I
Your
guess
cell
that's
phone
playable.
connects so that you can check the auction house. Like you don't zone into your raid and kick butt. Like I've never heard of that before.
Right.
I
Now-
mean I've always said we live in the future because we totally do, but that's futuristic even by my standards.
I was,
like driving on the highway, going from like satellite to satellite.
My man's
you
just
know?
cruising through Nevada slaying bosses. It's bananas.
Well,
Mm.
he stops. He stops at a truck stop. He's not driving down the road
No, did you hear
casting
him?
fireballs.
he'll tag team with his dad. They'll do team drives. So his father will be
right.
driving, and he'll be in the bunk in the back, driving down the highway raiding.
Did hear that. I don't know. In my head, I thought that they were parked, but you're right. I remember that part. So
I hope their truck has just
they
dedicated
probably
for
have
Wi-Fi.
Verizon.
I hope that their truck has just dedicated for Wi-Fi a big antenna that's like flopping around on the top, like a big ass Back to the Future hook, just waving in the sky, hoping to grab some Wi-Fi out of the air, or however it is that they distribute it in the desert as you're driving through it. That's what I'm picturing in my brain. You got to be careful you don't hit the power line. You'll go back to the past.
That's how
His
that works.
name
Yeah.
is even creepy. He couldn't even just be named Jack, like a normal human.
Well,
What is even a
Steeplechase-
Steeplechase Jack? That sounds like a gangster, or like that sounds like the name of the clown that murdered 4 kids last summer.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Steeplechase was the name of the amusement park. Okay, and Steeplechase was like the guy's name who started the amusement park. So, and it was like a Coney Island amusement park, Steeplechase Park. So they called him Steeplechase Jack.
And it's a funny face, not a creepy face. I mean, come on, it's 1905.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't know what was funny or
They
creepy
didn't
in
know the
1905.
difference between funny and creepy back then.
Right. They didn't have creepy things back then. It's your experience that makes it creepy.
Yeah, creepy was like, that's what spiders do. Creepy, crawly.
We have a
Yes.
I have no idea. I wasn't alive in 1905. I only pretend to be.
we have a spider that lives on the camera that looks at the drive-through on the side of the bank now. So instead of just seeing where the cars go, we see where the cars go and also our little spider.
Has he caught
What?
anything? That's a lot of fun to watch.
I haven't seen it, but it probably has. Girl's got to eat, right? Probably caught something.
Daddy.
Oh, good.
Oh, Frasley. There we go. There we go. You see, doesn't that just scream joy to you?
Not the one in
Joy.
the one in the black and white. I'm looking at that one.
The one in the black and white doesn't bother me as much. The one in the color has brought to my attention a new feature that I had never noticed about the one that's behind Sal, and that is the hair that is maybe trying to disguise a set of devil horns. What's going on?
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, he's just a dapper Dan. He just,
I'm a Dapper Dan man. Well, this is a damn geographical oddity. 2 weeks from everywhere. You know what? Let's end the show and all find us a. Is Oh Brother Where Art Thou streaming anywhere? We could all watch it together as a group. I think that'd be nice.
that sounds great. I'm gonna try to get into a Mythic Plus, so I can get my cash, my Mythic Plus cashy.
Estuary.
Silver. Cool. I agree with the ending because I have to pee because I had 3 beers.
That'll do it.
Yep. Cool. Hey, this was a fun show. This was fun.
Yes.
Braz, thank you for stepping in.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. That was an honor.
We didn't invite you, man. We just said okay.
Okay. So I invited myself.
It was your idea.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it totally worked. Yeah. He's like, hey, can I step in? Like, okay.
We got screen space. Whatever. Let's do it.
Cool. Okay. Well, good night.
Bye, everybody.
Night.
Bye-bye.